Merci, Madame la Présidente. Madam Speaker, the Premier said that her government is looking at different options of what to do with MB Power. The options need to be examined in the light of day, in a public forum that engages both experts and the public in a discussion about the role and structure of the People's Power Company. When politicians have tried to right the good ship NB Power in the past, they hatched their plans behind closed doors. Bernard Lord in 2003, Sean Graham in 2009, David Allward in 2017. This approach failed miserably. Look at where we are today. Will the Premier establish a select committee of this legislature on New Brunswick Power to hold public hearings, to engage experts and the public in a discussion about what needs to be done with MB Power to ensure it can serve our common good for the 21st century?
I recognize the Honourable the Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you to the member for the question. I 100% agree that this is something that needs to be done in the public forum. We have ignored the issues at NB Power for far too long, and at this point, the status quo is no longer an option. So we need an external review that involves, as the member said, experts and members of the public. Our government has been working on that plan to identify the people to lead it, the committees involved, the advisory committees, the New Brunswickers, what that timeline looks like, and we're looking forward to sharing all of that information about what this external and public, transparent and engaging review of MB Power will look like, and how this Legislative Assembly can participate, as well as New Brunswickers everywhere can participate in what the future of the utility is, because our ultimate goal is to make sure that New Brunswickers have clean, reliable, affordable power. That's not the case today. Our government isn't going to kick that can down the road. We are tackling it. We're doing so in a way that's open and transparent and involves all New Brunswickers.
I recognize the Leader of the Third Party.
Madam Speaker, the Premier says everything is on the table with regards to MB Power. What should not be on the table is privatizing the People's Power Company. Our electric utility is a Crown corporation for a reason, a public utility to serve the people of New Brunswick, that answers to the people of New Brunswick, not to the shareholders or private owners seeking to profit from the power bills we pay. But it needs to be transformed, absolutely, so that it's more responsive to the needs of New Brunswickers for energy services, heat, light, power for our electronics and appliances, and increasingly for our transportation. It's for example, the cheapest source of power now, much cheaper than NB Power's power, is solar energy. So the Power Commission should be helping New Brunswickers going solar. That's just one of the many things it should be doing. So will the Premier commit to keeping MB Power as a public utility owned by the people of the province?
Je reconnais l'honorable Première ministre.
Merci beaucoup, Madame la Présidente, et merci pour la question. Je suis complètement d'accord qu'il y a beaucoup de choses qu'on doit faire pour transformer notre, je ne sais pas le mot pour utility. We have to transform our public utility, but it is a public utility. The work of the review is going to be open. We're not going to eliminate any option, but we would take very seriously the opportunity to partner. And the bottom line is we need the best cost for New Brunswickers. We need it to be reliable and responsible and clean. And so we're going to see what all of the options look like. We're going to do that with experts and New Brunswickers. And then the hard work will be in choosing what kind of future we want for NB Power and doing that together. And I don't think it's responsible to make that choice without knowing what all of the different options are. So then we can decide what we want our utility to be. And that includes things like how do we maximize solar energy? How do we engage communities in that renewable future? And how do we engage New Brunswickers who want to do that in a way that works for them? So everything is on the table, and we're going to do this in lockstep with New Brunswickers.
I recognize the Leader of the Third Party.
Madam Speaker, I don't know why the Premier wants to go through another battle with the people of New Brunswick over an effort to keep the public utility public. We've been down this road before with Sean Graham, and we know where the people of this province stand. We know where the people of this province stand. They want NB Power to remain their power company. They want NB Power to remain responsible to them. They want this government to ensure that it continues to function as a Crown corporation, only better in a way that requires transformation, that requires restructuring, that requires new goals and new objectives that fully meet the needs of New Brunswickers and the current economy, given the current technology that's available in the future to come. So why will the minister not take privatization off the table?
Je reconnais l'honorable Première ministre.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think I'm in a very different place on this than the member opposite, because I'm not going to assume that I know what every single New Brunswicker thinks about NB Power. I certainly know what I hear them telling me right now is that it needs to change, the rates can't keep going like they're going now, and the status quo cannot continue. But I would disagree with the member in that every New Brunswicker have very different opinions about what maybe should be done with NB Power. And so we are going to have an open conversation with New Brunswickers to hear from all of them, the members represented by the member opposite, the members represented by the official opposition, the New Brunswickers represented by members of this riding, and we're going to create the forum for them to share with us what they want their utility to look like, how they want to get power in ways that we can then build a future off of. But I'm not going to assume what every New Brunswicker feels until we go out and do the work with open ears to listen to what they want and build an energy future that we can all rely on.
Bravo.